Hey man, finally getting this video together for you. I've been crazy busy and looks like you've been busy too, grabbing listings and all that. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown of I was on the Grindstone. If you have some time to get to it, I want to follow through with that. So the chords in this song, the first chord is a D minor, and he plays it a little bit differently. That's only because he does this little riff where he's like, if your guitar is in normal tuning, you would capo on the 3rd fret here. The way Tyler plays the D minor, instead of putting his 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the B string, you're gonna put your pinky on the 6th fret of the B string. So that way you have your ring finger kind of hanging out there to be able to do the little bend. It's like that. So you see how I'm coming over the top and I'm bending the 6th fret on the 4th string. So I'll just kind of play through the chord progressions as he's doing it. This song is only 4 chords. He just plays them differently, whether he's in the chorus or the verses. See the ways of this world just bring you to tears. Keep the Lord in your heart, you'll have nothing to fear. Live the best that you can. Don't lie and don't steal. Keep your nose on the grindstone and out of the pills. Daddy, I've been trying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world I can't seem to shake. But I remember your words, Lord, they bring me to chills. Keep your nose on the grindstone, out of the pills. Alrighty, so the 4 chords we're gonna be using are D minor chord, and then we'll do this little F here. I just do this as it's like a F major 7. 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, 1st finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string, and we're just gonna leave the 1st string open. And then you're only playing from the 4th string here. So when you pick, you're not gonna pick all 6 strings because that would sound really bad. It sounds like this. You're just only going to pick from the 4th string here. The 3rd chord we're gonna be using is just a normal C chord. 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the 5th string, 2nd finger on the 6th fret of the 4th string, and then your 1st finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. So when he's going through the verses, we're just going to be using those 4 chords like that. And then when he gets to the end of the verses, right, and he starts going into the chorus, it's going to change into these bar chords. So the bar chords are just going to be F major. It's just a bar version of that little tiny F that you were doing earlier. Bar chord F, I think you already know that. And then we're going to play this C, but you're going to add what is a 5th right back down here. You're going to add that with your ring finger. So your ring finger and pinky finger on the 6th fret of the 5th and 6th strings respectively. Your ring finger is going to be on the 6th string, so on the low string. Your pinky finger is going to be on the next highest string, the 5th string. And then it's just a regular C shape for the rest of your fingers. So second fret on the 5th, or excuse me, second finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and then your pointer finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. All right. And then he does a basic G from there, and then back to the D minor. Pretty much from there, the only thing that you need to know is just the rhythm, and you can listen to the song for that. That follows along with the lyrics. But those are all the chords that you need to know to play this song. And then obviously the strumming pattern is just going to be down, up, 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 down. And then with the little D shape, you're doing the little hammer on. All right, so the first lick he does in the beginning, real simple. So it's just on the second time of doing the down, up, down, up, down, you're gonna grab that little bend there with your 3rd finger. So it's pretty challenging, but you only need to bend it a little bit. You don't need to do like a crazy bend. It's just right, so you get the same effect from just a little tiny movement. So that's the first little intro lick there. And the second little lick he does is at the instrumental part, so it's just the chord progression of the verses. So, and he does a little hammer on the C chord there. So it's like so it's ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. When you're doing the hammer on pull off combination, you're instantly transitioning back to the D minor chord on rhythm. That's actually a helpful reason why you use your pinky for that D minor chord on the root note there of the D minor chord, because in your basic C shape chord, right, you're not using this guy. So when you do the little, it gives you a little bit of extra time to grab that chord. Again, that chord progression in rhythm is that's a good way to think about that lick, is just looping it with that da 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 da. That might help you get the rhythm. So it would just be really beautiful resolution back to the root note. Then the second time through the progression in that little instrumental, he does the same thing, just a little bit simpler on the C chord. It's another hammer on, and it goes like this. The second time through, you're going to do that hammer on the C, and then when you go back to this D minor, you're going to include the 5th string when you play it. So it just gives it a little bit more bass, a little bit more fullness compared to just playing from the root note from the 4th string. When you add that A in there, it sounds a little deeper. So the second time through the instrumental is just going to go like... just like that. Well, the third time through the instrumental, he's going to be walking up into those big fat bar chords, and I'll show you how he does it. So from the second time through the instrumental, where he's doing that second C-shape hammer on, it goes like this. like to do is have my ring finger and pinky finger on the 5th and the root note of the F bar chord like this, and then you're just going to go and finish out the rest of the F, right? So it's hit that open 6th string, and then you don't need to hammer on, he picks it twice onto the 4th fret of the 6th string. So, and then what you're gonna do, you don't have to be perfect with this, but you're gonna try and mute the 6th string as you transition into the C, and you're just going to play the A and D strings open and do the same thing into a C shape that you did with the F shape. On the C shape, it's gonna be, so from the F, it's gonna be, it just gives this nice effect of walking up into both of those chords, a nice fat effect. So it's, again, from the F to the C, it's gonna be, and then if you want to, you're still gonna be strumming through this, you can just open those up again and then go straight into the G. And then he does this really fast walk up, hammer on thing. I'm not gonna be worrying too much about my pinky completing this G up here because I'm focusing on these low strings. So you'll see I got my 3rd finger and my middle finger making the basic G shape, and I'm only playing about the bottom 4 strings. Okay, so the lowest 4 strings. And this is really fast, so he strums down, and then right back to the D minor. So it's 1 strum down, and then it's a triplet. So triplet D, 1 triplet D. 1 triplet D, D. And then back into the 4th time around in the instrumental. So again, 1 triplet D, D. So 4th time around in the instrumental. And then right back into the verses. My favorite little lick he does at the very end on the last G. Keep your nose on the grindstone. Gorgeous. All right, so keep your nose on the grindstone. So it's gonna be up, down, and 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. But how I do it is I got my ring finger and my pinky finger kind of making up this fake G here. It's not a complete G. And then we're gonna do a hammer on to the 5th fret of the 4th string. So it's gonna be, and you can play through the whole chord. And what I do is I just take my ring finger, and my ring finger is kind of muting the 5th string here. So you don't need to pressure yourself to stand your ring finger up super high. As long as you're ringing out the middle 3 strings here. So the 4th string, the 3rd string, and the 2nd string all need to be ringing out, right? And then you're gonna do the in 1 and 2 on the 4th string using your middle finger. So it's okay. And then at the very end, he's gonna do this 1, 2, and 3 kind of thing. So it's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. So it's in 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. And you can just use your middle finger again to do that quick hammer on this is the 3rd of the G chord right here. 1, 2, and 3. And this last part is the dopest. When you finish on the D minor chord, you're gonna have your pinky on the root note, so that's the 6th fret of the 2nd string, and then you're gonna hammer on the rest of the chord. So you're gonna hammer on to the 2nd fret, or excuse me, you're gonna hammer on to the 5th fret with your middle finger, and you're gonna hammer on to the 1st fret at the same time of the 1st string. Okay, so it's gonna sound like this. Super dope. Keep your nose on the grindstone. 1 and 2. Da, 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 da. One more time. Keep your nose on the grindstone. 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3. All right. So that's Nose on the Grindstone. Finally got it done for you. Hopefully all that was helpful. And I highly recommend what I did actually was go online, and there's a karaoke version of the song, and just play along with that like a whole bunch of times. When he does the other little side note I'll give is when he does the Daddy, I've been crying, I just can't catch a break. He hangs out on that G. He doesn't go back to the D the first time. So when he does Daddy, I've been crying, I just can't catch a break, and then right back to the F. There's too much in this world. Okay, so the second time he goes through that, whatever the lyrics are, I forget, he's gonna go to the D. But the first time on the Daddy, I've been crying stuff, he's hanging out on that G for a minute. So Daddy, I've been crying, I just can't catch a break. There's too much in this world. Alright, that's the only other thing I got for you, man. So hopefully this video is helpful for you. We'd love to see you crushing this song. So yeah, have a great day.